What a privilege it is to be part of this celebration and to be back here on Rutgers campus 20 years later. I'm incredibly excited to introduce our final honoree, Alanah Odoms. Alanah and I met as IWL scholars 24 years ago. I remember meeting her and thinking she was a radiant human being, still is. We became friends, and on the day we graduated, I shot up after her speech along with a standing ovation. I can literally picture this. It was one of the best speeches I had ever heard from a peer of mine. I had no doubt that Alanah was not just bound for greatness, she had it innately in her. That year, along with the IWL, Alanah graduated from the Presidential Leadership Scholars Program, the Eagleton Institute of Politics, and as magna cum laude Pi Beta Kappa graduate on Rutgers College. It just goes on and on. She then went on to graduate from Rutgers Law School, Newark, and became a distinguished civil rights attorney and the first Black woman to lead the American Civil Liberties Union of Louisiana in its 68-year history. Since her arrival in 2018, the ACLU of Louisiana has expanded from a modest team of 2 to a formidable force of 20, addressing the state's most critical civil rights and liberties challenges. Under her leadership, the ACLU has led a campaign to end Louisiana's non-unanimous jury law and spearheaded the Justice Lab, which aims to combat racially motivated police misconduct. Since its creation in 2020, Odoms' office has recruited 50 law firms to represent victims for free and has successfully settled more than a dozen lawsuits. Taking systemic racial injustice and the entrenched legacies of slavery head on, Alanah and her team target racial gerrymandering, mass incarceration, immigrant detention, and discriminatory policing. Their tireless efforts have led to the establishing of a second Black congressional district and increased Black representation on the Louisiana Supreme Court. Historic achievements that will shape the future of the state for centuries to come. Alanah is a leader, a role model, a mother, my IWL sister and friend. It is with great pleasure that I present the Institute for Women's Leadership Torchlighter Award to the phenomenal Alanah Odoms. Yeah.
Thank you, this is so beautiful. I saw everyone come up here and get teary-eyed, and I thought, that's funny. I don't think that's gonna happen to me. And here I am, all choked up. I am deeply honored and profoundly humbled to stand here to receive the inaugural Torchlighters Award. I first want to thank the incredible leaders of the Institute for Women's Leadership who have guided my path since I was 17 years old. Rebecca Mark, Director Rebecca Mark, congratulations on what you've done with this amazing program. My dearest, dearest Lisa Hatfield, the dynamo. I do whatever Lisa tells me to do, and when she called, I could not say no to this incredible honor. Mary Trigg, who is my professor and like the love of my life for so many years, I want to say thank you to her as well, but also the entire IWL family, Sasha, Emily, Nishi, and the amazing advisory committee, Shuba and Angela. Wow, thank you so much. And Whitney, thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful award. Ingrid, my dear friend and classmate, and Janine, who's not with us tonight, but is also one of our dear classmates. Thank you for nominating me for this prestigious honor, and your leadership and friendship, dear friendship, has inspired me for many, many years, and this feels so much more special to be given to me from you. So to my table of support, I want to thank my devoted parents who have been by my side and who've inspired me. Evelyn and Larry, you taught me that the light of love can fuel a lifetime of service, and you have served so many in our community, but mostly my sister and I, and we are forever grateful to you, and we will always honor you and speak highly of you forever and evermore. To my dearest friends, Anita Karani is also a Rutgers graduate. Also my very, very dear friend, Clifton Doris, is dynamic leader at TED, Marwa Hafez, Yasmin Hafez, and Francis and Margaret Doherty. Francis, one of the best trial lawyers that I've ever met, and inspired me to become an attorney. Thank you so much. And to my fellow Torchlighter awardees, Abigail, Janine, love you, Janine. Priscilla, everybody loves Janine. And Pat, thank you, Pat. I am inspired by each of you. You know, Maya Angelou said something. She said, be careful not to die before you've done something fantastic for humanity. And that is what this table of Torchlighters has done and is doing. You know, I've been blessed to be in special rooms with impossibly brilliant people my whole life, and that began at Rutgers 25 years ago at the Institute for Women's Leadership. The IWL is truly a gift to our Rutgers community and to this nation, providing young women with the opportunity to be placed in environments that challenge us, change us, and allow us to shine in ways that we never thought imaginable. You know, leadership itself is being defined in this country at this moment. At the Democratic Convention, you all likely heard Michelle Obama address a former president in this way, and she delivered a sharp line, and I liked it, and so I'll share it again. And she said, who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might be a black job? Y'all remember that one? Okay, I wanna take it a step further, and I wanna say, who's going to tell him that the job that he's currently seeking might be a woman's job? After all, we know that a woman's work is in the House of Representatives, and in the White House. But leadership is not only born from the halls of power, it rises from the deep, unyielding spirit of those who dared to walk when the world told them to stay still. We heard Oprah Winfrey remind us on that very same night when she shared a story about Tessie Prevost, a child of New Orleans, who, alongside Leona Tate, Gail Etienne, and Ruby Bridges, carved a path through prejudice and broke the color line to desegregate New Orleans schools on November 14th, 1960. Leona Tate, who once stood small against towering injustice, now stands mighty. She became one of the first elders to guide my steps when I began the work at the ACLU of Louisiana in 2018. And in 2019, in an act of sheer defiance and being a dangerous woman, she purchased the school that barred her entrance 60-some years ago. Now, we are honored to partner with the Leona Tate Foundation to raise $20 million to build a monument to healing, the Tate, Etienne, and Prevost Center, a museum and sanctuary where the wounds of segregation will be acknowledged and where the light of reconciliation will shine for generations to come. In 2020, when my daughter Alanah was 7 years old, she had the honor of delivering a speech marking the 61st anniversary of desegregation in New Orleans. Alanah said that she believes that she can become president because of the sacrifices of the women that I mentioned to you this evening. These great women architects of our democracy paved the way for Kamala, and they continue to pave the way for my little girl and for yours. Their legacy ripples through time, lighting the way for the next generation. And speaking of the next generation, will all of the IWL scholars and alumna please stand and be recognized? We see you, we honor you tonight as well, and all of the work that we are doing is in your honor so that you can carry the torch forward for all of us, because we're getting old, just a little bit. The Institute for Women's Leadership taught me that women's leadership changes our world. As Gloria Steinem once said, it holds the greatest power to reshape our world. Women's leadership can close the racial and gender wealth gap, because when women are able to care for themselves, they not only care for themselves, they care for families, and they care for children, and they care for our community. It promotes peace, secures bodily autonomy, and protects our environment. That's what women's leadership does. And in Louisiana, an abortion state, where women's lives are threatened every day, I know firsthand that a woman's right to decide if and when she will become a parent is also deeply tied to her destiny, and that is something that we all deserve, to become everything we are intended to be. I believe we are at a threshold of a new civil rights movement, a movement that is multi-faith, multi-racial, multi-ethnic, and powered by love. A love that recognizes our shared humanity and interconnectedness. A love that compels us to create fairness, peace, and justice for all. Each of us is capable of this kind of activism. We even heard Pat speak about that just now. No matter our professions, we must treat democracy as a verb and be willing, as Michelle Obama encouraged us to, do something to protect it. Will you do something with me tonight to protect our democracy and to lift up women's leadership? The new civil rights movement recognizes, as Gloria Steinem taught us, that we are not linked. We are linked, rather, but not ranked. Martin Luther King described it this way. He says, we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied together in a single garment of destiny. Wow. Do you feel that? Do you feel how we are all interconnected and all with the same destiny moving together as one? The movement demands that we confront, though, gross inequities in our laws, end policies, disadvantages that continue to hold women, Black people, people of color, and so many others in the grip of terror, violence, and systemic injustice. I think we also have to invite our children to have a seat at history's table. They can make an imprint on history, even through the smallest acts of kindness and activism, which we can teach them. One of the most powerful ways that I believe that we can do this is to take our children to the polls with us and take young people. I make it a practice to bring my daughter with me to vote every single time, showing her that every vote, not just for presidential elections, but those that are local as well, passes the flame to the next generation, keeping the torch of democracy burning bright. It's through our collective action that we ensure a fair and free country where we are all able to thrive. As we move forward, let us all remember that we, the people, must work together to continue to perfect our union, and that will take all of us, and it means all of us mattering together to do that. In closing, I'll share a quote from Rumi the poet, and Rumi said, after all of these years, the sun never said to the earth, you owe me. Look what happens with a love like that. It lights up the entire world. Thank you.